healthcare workers have supported me by, you know, a varying degree depending on which, my psychiatrist. So I could go to him. Maybe I needed my medication increased, which I did. I could talk to him about that. When I was at the clinic, I was able to talk to the nurses, and they're fantastic, It
sounds like a cliche, but the ones, and this goes from a professor that was involved with my treatment all the way through to nurses, whatever. I think they saw, although it was all wound up in hepatitis C, they saw me as a person, not just a recipient of a disease.
Once I started on the treatment and started linking in with the counsellor that would call me every fortnight, and also because I'm in a 12-step program, I get the opportunity to share that as well. And that was another great help by being on treatment and being in the program and having my fortnightly conversations with my telephone counsellor. Yeah, it was good to be able to have those outlets, to be able to discuss that. And also too, once I told my sisters about it, I could speak to my sisters about it, and that, it was really good to have that family support.
I had a great support network from my family. Only a couple of friends knew about it. One had been through treatment, so she was a wealth of support, of little remedies. She's actually a nurse too, of little remedies to help with side effects. My kids were absolutely wonderful. At least one would be here each weekend to see if I needed any heavy work done, or my daughter-in-law that lives in the next suburb would cook meals and freeze them down and bring them over so that I didn't have to cook. I think that was one of the things that helped me most, and my colleagues too. At first I only disclosed to one. Then when I found and disclosed to more and more colleagues, I had more and more support and more, not just physical support, emotional support, and understanding.
Friends were great, and also having support groups to go to and talking to health workers at the clinic, and also your local doctor. People who know about Hep C.
When you've got a support network of family, friends, each of them all know you in a different way. Okay, and my sister knew me so well that she'd ring me, talk to me on the phone, and she could pick it up without me even saying it, that I was isolating on the couch, just in a conversation. So she would come over, and then she'd make up some story and say, "Look, I need to go down to Marrickville Metro. Could you drive me?" And I'd go, "Now?" And she'd go, "Yes." So I said, "Okay, all right." So there you go, you see, having that family support there. Then I'd have friends that would text me and send me a text message saying, "Haven't heard from you for a couple of days, what's up?" And I'd look at the phone and think, "Oh, I don't know, this is a punish to text you back," But I'd do it because they're my friends. I'd text them back and I'd say, "Oh, I'm feeling a little bit down today, I don't feel like much doing anything." And so then they'd call me and tell me about what's going on for them and get me to talk about what's happening for me.
I think health workers can support you while you're on treatment. Emotional support's always very important. I think people can feel very isolated while they're on treatment because most people get some sort of tiredness and exhaustion. So that can make you isolated and feel vulnerable, I guess. So the emotional support's excellent.
The health worker makes a big difference. It's in her attitude or his attitude. If I, have the illness or any illness, I want to go and be heard and be understood.
I think the main way that health workers have been supportive to me over the years, and I've been diagnosed for nearly 21 years now, is by validating my experience, if you like. If I say I'm experiencing this, the health worker listening and going, "Oh yes," and then sort of dealing with that rather than saying, "No, you're not," which some health workers do. And I think just being listened to makes a huge difference.
I had a specialist nurse, but I also had access to a psychologist, a nutritionalist, and I used it all. And they were very motivated about doing everything they possibly could to allow me to stay on treatment. And that was really good, and I really needed that.
Because I had a team, I would ring my nurse and say I'm being brought into hospital, and all I had to do was go through triage, and my team was there in emergency to treat whatever needed to be treated. So I got a lot of care through it. They were a brilliant team. They helped me heaps.